Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for today's complete total body workout without using any equipment. Today we're going to start off by working our lower bodies, glutes and thighs. Then we're going to move into some upper body strengthening moves, and we're going to finish off with some fiery ab work. So without any equipment at all, you're going to feel it all throughout your body. You're going to get good results from this workout. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start in an all fours position. The wrists are below the shoulders and the knees are below the hips. We're just going to start ourselves off by mobilizing the hips a little bit here. So we're going to take the right leg up and then just circle bent knee up and around. So we're circling that knee in the air, opening up in the hip. Good. Really lift that knee up and over. Get as much mobility here as you can. You can start off small and then start making those circles a little bit larger as the hip starts to warm and open. Good. Keep circling. We've got two. Really exaggerate the movement, and last one. Now we're going to circle in the opposite direction. So I'm now circling forward. Good. Breathe through it. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth as you get that knee up and around. Last one. Nicely done. Now I'm going to come over to the other side so I've got space next to me to circle that opposite leg. So we're circling up and around. Good. You might notice differences. One side might feel stiffer than another. Just work through it slowly and with control, moving on the breath. Nice work. 2. And last one. Now circling in the opposite direction. Really pick that knee up, drawing nice, large, smooth circles. Last 2. And final 1. Amazing work. I'm going to plant my hands down on the mat, about shoulder distance apart, curl the toes, and pick those hips up toward the ceiling, stretching and lengthening through the spine. Really flatten out the upper back here, and we're just going to pedal the heels down to the mat, scooping abdominals up toward the ceiling, stretching the spine up through that tailbone for 3 and 2 and 1. Level out the heels and gently drop the knees to the mat, coming over onto your side body. Now we're going to start off by working into those glutes and thighs. So I'd like you to bend your legs. Knees are in line with the hips, shins are parallel with the edge of the mat. From here, we're just going to pick up just the lower part of the leg, keeping the legs perfectly parallel. We're going to open and close the knee. So we're kind of turning the knee up and then bringing the knees back together. Turning the leg up and bringing the knees back together. Keeping that top hip stacked on top of the lower hip the entire time. And I really want you to start focusing on the glutes. So really getting that lift with that knee and squeezing your side bum at the top of the lift. Good. It's a small range of movement, but we really want to be focusing on those deep stabilizing hip muscles as well as on the gluteus medius as we elevate that leg, holding for a split second at the top of the lift to really engage those muscles. Make them work. Good. We've got 6 and 5. Last 4 and 3. Lift that knee for 2 and for 1. Nice work. Now we're going to extend the leg. We're going to bring the leg forward on a diagonal and then flex the foot and push up and back. So we're pointing, come down, flexing, push up and away. Again, really squeezing that glute at the highest point of the lift. pointing through the toe, flexing the leg muscles, and then flexing the leg muscles, driving back through that heel as you flex. Now your aim here is to keep your torso from moving. So slow it down, move with control, engage those abs so that your upper body isn't rocking forward and backward with that leg. Good. You're moving on a diagonal, so you're drawing that line down and pushing it back up. Good. Nice control. Relax that neck. We've got 4, 3, push it back, 2, squeeze that bum as you drive back through the heel, and last 1. Now we're going to keep the foot flexed, but we're going to make sure that our hips are stacked one on top of the other. We're going to rotate the foot so that the inside of the foot is facing down toward the mat and the leg is in line with the torso. And then we're just going to simply lift and lower. So you're really working into those hips and glutes as you elevate that leg up, keeping that leg in line with the torso. Relax those shoulders, belly is plugged in, nice strong core as you lift and lower. Good, keep it up. We've got 5, lift a bit higher, 4, 3, keep the toes pulled back toward the shin, 2, and 1, relax it down. Now we're gonna come over into a forearm position. So we're gonna lower those forearms down to the mat. The side I was just working was my left, and I'm gonna stay working that left side. So I'm gonna extend the left leg out long, flexing through the heel. Then I'm gonna tap the knee down and continue. Inhale to tap, exhale, drive out through that heel. Engaging the glutes, the hamstrings, the thighs. My elbows are below my shoulders here, neck is long, and gaze is on the floor. And again, as always, we're plugging the belly in. Good. It's a slow range of movement, but I'm really engaging my glutes and my thighs throughout the bend and the extend. Good. Fully straighten the leg before bending and bringing it back in. We've got 6. Nice level shoulders, nice level hips. Last 4. You got this. 3, and 2, and 1. Now we're gonna keep the foot flexed, tap the toe down to the mat and lift. Tap, lift, tap, lift. Nice long spine. Engaged core, and squeeze that bum at the top of every lift. You can do it. 6, 5, 4, work those glutes, 3, 2, and 1. Hold at the top of the lift, lengthen the spine, lengthen out through that heel, lift the leg an inch higher, and little pulses here, little micro pulses. So we're again not letting the lower back overarch or the torso move around too much. We're focusing this work in the glutes and the thighs as we pulse that heel up toward the ceiling. Give me 8, 7, 6, lift a bit higher. 3, 2, 1, and hold. Lengthen through that heel, and then soften knee down to the mat. Take the knees nice and wide, big toes come together, and just sink back into child's pose. You did amazing work on that side. Take a little breather here, sink into those hips. For 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Bring yourself up, and now we're gonna do the other side. So come down onto your side body. This time I'm leading with my right leg. Support your head in your hands. Knees are in line with the hips, shins in line with the side of your mat. We're gonna lift just that lower part of the leg and go into those lifting and lowering of the knee. Good. Shoulders are down away from the ears, neck is long, belly is plugged in, and that hip, that top hip is staying stacked right on top of the lower hip the entire time. So we're really mobilizing the hip here, working that gluteus medius muscle. Good. I have my hand here for feedback, just to remind myself to really squeeze the bum, tighten the glutes at the top of that lift. Working into the thighs as well. Good work. You can also have your hand down on the mat to stabilize yourself. Move as slowly as you need to here to feel it in those glutes. Good. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Amazing work. Now we're coming out with the leg outstretched, toe is pointed. We're coming down on a diagonal and pushing back up. Down, pointed toe, flex and pull back. So try not to take your torso with you as you pull back. You want your torso to be still and stable. You don't want to be kind of rolling back in the torso like that as you pull the leg back. Your upper body position is not changing. We're pointing and then driving through the heel, giving it lots of energy. And again, squeezing that bum at that furthest point. When you're really pulling back and flexing the heel, we're engaging that booty. Good. Inhale and exhale, pull it back. Forward and backwards. Good work. I know these are tough, but we're working all angles of our glutes in this sequence of exercises, so it's really beneficial. Keep going. We've got 2, push back through that heel, and 1, push it back. Now we're lifting and lowering that top leg, so the inside of the foot is facing down to the mat. The leg is in line with the torso. So you should really feel it here, even into that waistline a little bit as you lift the leg. Really cinch in that waistline. Get that leg up there. Keep the toes pulled back toward the shin. We've got 6, 5, 4, lift a bit higher, 3, keep that leg nice and straight, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Now, we're coming over. I'm going to continue to work that same side. For me, it's my right side. Coming down onto those forearms. Knees are bent, knees are below the hips, elbows beneath the shoulders. Flex that foot and drive out through the heel. Make sure your hips stay square with the mat. Give it a lot of energy. Really push through that heel and fully straighten the leg before bending and bringing the knee down for a tap. Good. Abs engaged, shoulders relaxed, all of those checkpoints. Give it a ton of energy, really kick out behind you. We've got 4, 3, 2, full extension, and 1, hold it there. Tap and lift, tap and lift. So again, this is really controlled. I'm really squeezing my bum. I know I keep saying that, but it's super important. We want the leg to be fully activated, the glutes to be fully activated as we lift up with that flexed foot. You can make this as hard as you want it to be with the amount of mind-muscle connection you're putting into it, with the amount of exertion. We're keeping that leg nice and straight. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're holding at the top of that lift. Lengthen, lift the leg a little higher if you can, and tiny little micro pulses. Breathing through it. I know these are tough, but this is the last lower body move of this workout. Give it all you've got. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Lower down. Take the knees nice and wide, but keep the hips elevated this time. We're going into puppy pose. Soften your forehead down to the mat. Lengthen through your spine. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Really relax into it. And now walk your hands towards your knees. I'm just going to roll my shoulders down and back. And we are going to get into our arm work. So I'm going to come into a plank position. I'm going to walk you through this because there's a couple of steps to this move. Make sure you've got enough room behind you to step into full plank. So I'm coming back into my full plank, creating a nice flat line with the body. Then I'm going to step my right leg in so my knee's below the hip. Step my left foot in so that we're in a shin lift position. Then right leg comes out, left leg comes out. We drop the knees gently to the mat. Lower, keeping the elbows in close toward the side of the body. Hover the chest off the mat and then push up. So plank, step, 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 step. Lower the knees, push up. Got it? Plank, nice flat line with the body. Step it in. Engage those abs. Soften the knees. And push up. Good. In, belly to spine, out, full plank, lower, and push up. So we're going into a tricep push-up, so you're keeping those elbows in really close toward the side of the body. Using the backs of the arms, weight in the heels of the hands to push up. That back stays nice and flat the entire time. These are tough. Working that core, working those shoulders, working those arms. Good work. We've got 3 more sets. In, out, hold, lower. Good. In, out. Last set. In, out, lower. Weight into the heels of the hands and push up. Amazing work. Those were really tough but effective. Okay. Now the wrists are below the shoulders, knees are below the hips. We're going to curl the toes and we're going to elevate into a shin lift position with the shins parallel with the mat. We're then going to do 10 knee taps and then 10 forearm taps. So it looks like this. We're elevating, we're lowering the knees. 1, 2, 3, abs in, 4, 5, nice broad shoulders, 6, 7, abs in, and 9, and 10. Then we're lowering the knees, flattening the feet, walking the hands out a little bit in front of the shoulders, lower forearm taps. Make any adjustments that you need to feel it in the backs of the arms. Pushing weight into the heels of the hands, working the backs of the arms. Sort of lost count, but there's meant to be 10, so let's give it 4 more. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Hands come below the shoulders, back into those 10 knee taps. Flat line with the back. 1, 2, lift abdominal wall. 3, 4, 5, 6, keep stable. 3, and 2, and 1. Lower down, flatten the feet, hands come a little bit out in front of the shoulders. Keep the wrists parallel with the forearms and the shoulders. That's 5. 5 more. 4, 3, weight into the heels of those hands. 2 and 1. Good. We've got 2 more sets of each. Curl the toes. Power up through those shoulders. Broaden across the upper back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep those shins parallel with the mat as you lift. 8, 9, and 10. Lower down. Forearm taps for 10. 9, 8. Working the backs of the arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more set of each. Building strength. We can do it. Good. 10, 9. Lift your abs toward the ceiling. 5, 4, 3. Don't lift the bum high. 2, and 1. Good. Last set of forearm taps. Really put weight into the heels of the hands. Let's go. Notice I'm barely even touching my elbows down toward the mat. I'm keeping that tension on the backs of the arms. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Take the knees nice and wide. Push back into your child's pose, stretching and lengthening through the tailbone. For 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Now, we're going to come into full plank, and we're going to work through 10 knee taps. So, stepping right foot back, stepping left foot back. Strong plank, nice flat line with the body. Lift your abdominal wall. We're going for 10. 9, abs in. 8, lift your abdominal wall. Nice broad shoulders. 5, 4, 3, keep going. 2, and 1. Now we're holding here for 10 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push back into a well-deserved downward dog. Let your head hang heavy between your shoulders. If downward dog is too much for you right now, you can drop down into child's pose to regulate the breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. For 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Lower yourself down. Lift your shoulders up by your ears and roll them down and back. Now we're going to finish off with our ab series. Amazing work with those glutes and upper body. We're now going to lower down to the mat, one vertebra at a time, relaxing the head, neck, and shoulders down on the floor. When we get there, we're interlacing our fingers, taking them behind the head so that your head rests heavy in your hands. Legs are hip distance apart, feet are flat on the floor, and the spine is in neutral. From this starting position, we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to drive one knee in toward the chest and then lower. Drive opposite knee in toward the chest and lower. So we're keeping the elbows nice and wide as we alternate knees coming in. And we're really focusing on flattening the abdominal wall down toward the spine as we curl and crunch up. We're bringing the head so it rests on top of the shoulders, peeling those shoulder blades up off the floor, belly to spine. As we breathe out, inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Warming up that abdominal wall. Well, we actually already did do that with our planking, but now we're getting into these crunches to really focus on the upper and the lower abs. Good. We've got 5, lift a little higher. 4, contract the core. For 3, and 2, and 1. Now from here, both legs are coming into tabletop. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, we're extending the right leg out long, tapping the right heel to the mat as we curl and crunch up, back to tabletop to lower head, neck, and shoulders. Opposite side, left leg extends, tap heel to the mat, point through the toe, and then lower. Alternating sides as we curl and crunch up. Now, if the full leg extension is feeling too much, you can go into a toe tap, hinging from the hip as you lift and lower. Otherwise, you're fully extending the leg as you elevate up into that crunch. Good. Inhale, lower. Exhale, peel it up. Good. And every time we do so, oh, my hair's falling out. We elevate with control. Good. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. We've got 4 and 3 and 2 and last 1 and lift it up. Amazing work. Now from here, we're going to either keep our head, neck, and shoulders down on the mat, or we're going to elevate into a crunch and hold here. We're going to extend the right leg out long, lift, lower, back to tabletop. Left leg, lift, lower, back to tabletop. Extend, lift, and lower, and to tabletop, alternating sides. As mentioned, if it's too much with head, neck, and shoulders up, you can lower them down. You can also take your hands on either side of your tailbone for support for the low back if needed. Good. So it's an extension. We're pointing through the toe as we lift and lower and bringing it back. Good work. Nice control. Keep pointing through those toes. Keep the abdominals engaged. Lift up a little higher into your crunch if you can. Supporting your head in your hands. Good. Keep breathing. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Last 2. And last 1. Nicely done. Lower your feet down to the floor, and you can just hug your knees in towards your chest for a moment, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, we're going to bring our feet down to the floor. From here, we're going to extend both legs out long, about mat distance apart, and point through the toes. Interlace your fingers, take them behind your head. We're now going to go into some crossovers here, so we're going to inhale to prepare, and as we exhale, we're going to bring the left knee in, crossing over, tapping right elbow to left knee or bringing it close. Extend the leg out so it hovers above the floor, and again, sticking on that same side. Really driving that knee in toward the chest. I'm squeezing my bum to keep my lower body really stable and deeply contracting the core as we cross over, rotating around the rib cage, really picking that right shoulder blade up off the floor. Don't worry if your elbow doesn't touch your knee, just focus on that crossover to get into the obliques. Now, if you want to extend the level of challenge, I'd like you to float your right leg up off the floor as well. It's a real stability challenge. It makes it significantly harder. Whew. We've got 4 and 3, abs in, for 2 and for 1. Amazing work. Lower both legs down. We're going to do the other side now. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. Right knee, left elbow. Good. Keeping those elbows nice and wide. Really tweezing the bum for extra stability. As we drive that knee in and engage the core, pulling the belly button in toward the spine. Good. If you want to pick it up, float that opposite leg. Try to keep your lower body really stable. Good. We've got 3 and 2 and final 1. Relax it down. So for this next one, we have a couple options. You can either place your hands on either side of your tailbone, like so, to support your lower back, or you can have your hands interlaced behind your head, curled into that crunch position. We're going to extend the legs out. If you need a gentle bend, that's fine. Otherwise, full extension, and we're going to crisscross the legs in the air. Keeping the toes pointed, abs are engaged. Good. If you can, lower down a little bit more, making it more challenging on those abs. The lower the angle of the legs. Keep breathing. I know these are tough, but we've only got 10 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Legs together, lower an inch. Hold, hold, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both knees in toward the chest. Take your right hand over your right knee, left hand over your left knee, and circle those knees in opposite directions. For 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Amazing work. Stretch your legs out long. Roll over onto your stomach. Take your hands on either side of your shoulders and peel up into an abdominal stretch. Look out over your right shoulder, stretching your neck. Look out over your left shoulder, stretching your neck. Bring yourself into an all fours position. And just roll your shoulders down and back, arching your spine. And then push the mat away from you, dropping your head, rounding. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. 2 more. Regulating the breath. Sink back onto your heels. Lift your shoulders up by your ears. We'll take 2 more. And roll your shoulders down and back. Last one. And melt the shoulders down. Amazing work. I hope you enjoyed that total body workout. I know I did. We hit all the major muscle groups. Great work. I look forward to moving again with you next time.